request. Somebody's mic is on. Somebody's mic is on. My humble request. Can switch off your mic, please. My humble request. Thank you very much. Now,
सुनील सर,
yes sir, नमस्कार.
राइट्स दे दो, मैं अपने आप संभाल लूंगा.
दिया सर, मैंने आपको दे दिया.
जी.
Okay. Now, so if you see, so if only going through merits, demerits of planning, types of planning, or features of planning, you cannot teach planning to the bacha. Even after teaching 25 years, that chapter, I could not know how to do planning. So unless until child have been given one atmosphere where some activities are planned, some work is to be planned, where some objectives are given, bacha cannot do planning. Only bacha can get 99 marks, 100 marks in that chapter, but to understand what is planning, we have to give some activities related to that. Annual function of the school, some meeting, some sports day, something can be given to the bacha to do that planning. And then when bacha will learn planning, the shortcomings, they may do some mistakes and whatever it is, then there will be real learning of
credit framework
to the bacha. Next, I'm moving to the next topic. Again, we talk about human values, constitutional values, but we do not provide any environment for that. Moral education is taught in the classes, but we have to provide atmosphere. If you talk about the schools in Japan and all, their cleaning of the classroom and all is the means basic work where bachas are supposed to do, then only they can understand the dignity of labor and all. Only by telling ki haan, dignity of labor, you have to assume dignity of labor, you have to think of, bacha cannot understand. Once they are doing something, they will understand if they have cleaned something and somebody else is throwing something there, that then they will understand what goes into the heart, though I have cleaned this place and somebody is not understanding this. So they are talking about life skills, communication, cooperation, teamwork. These all should be the part of our education, and formative assessment. Formative assessment along with summative assessment. We have to understand that unless until we are going towards, we are combining this summative assessment and formative assessment, we cannot come out from this coaching culture of today. Even today's newspaper, you must have heard death of a child in Indore, preparing for NEET in a coaching center. 3 days back, you must have heard Kota, there was the death of a child. So that if we have to save this precious life, then our assessment system should be like that, where child performance, child's working, not only the examination, but the other thing also should to be considered while assessing the child. Now I am moving to why National Credit Framework. Again, whatever I told you in last 3 slides, I am going to combine it. We have to make a balance between general education and vocational education. That means we have to assume both equally. We have to assume what if a child is doing schooling proper or child is doing vocational education, both should be treated equally in the society. Another thing, child should be given multiple entry exit option. Another thing, formal and informal. If some child is doing informal education, I gave you the example of Sachin Tendulkar. Can we give some credit if Sachin Tendulkar is playing for country or for the state or for any organization, that can be given some credit, and that credit can be counted as his degree, that part. So that is formal and informal education. And last, where we are talking about the education of the child with skill and work-ex, where there should not be that whatever is written in the science book, SST book, Hindi book, English book, child is studying. No. Some work can be given where bacha is writing some speeches, debates, then the language skills can be developed, some science projects can be given. What happened nowadays, some bacha is selected from the school and that bacha participate in national science survey. No, every child should be doing something project. Then in that way, if you are teaching science, in that way, if you are teaching social science, that culture we have to develop as per this national credit framework. let's go through the, these are four very important document. As educator, you all should be knowing. My humble request, whenever you get time, please go through NEP, NCF, NCRF, and National Qualification Framework. These are the four documents. Whenever you have time, at least few pages, 2 page, 3 page, 4 page, whenever you have time, please go through all those things. We have a lot of videos related to these in our YouTube channel. Whenever I take session, generally I record that session and put it on my YouTube channel. So if you have time, you can go through. You will find NEP, NCF, NCRF, everything on my YouTube channel. Now, let's go to the important point. First, credit should be independent of marks. Means marks and credit, these are two different things. It is not like that a child getting good marks will be getting good credit and child getting good credit will be getting good marks. It should not be like that. If a child got 100 out of 100, that means child will get 100% credit also. No, a child may get 40% marks but 99% credit. Another child may get 99% marks but 40% credit, depending upon the performance in examination and in different assessment in the classroom. So different assessment in the classroom will give the credit and examination will give the marks. These are two different things. My humble request, please do not convert your marks into credit or credits into marks. If you start doing that, the whole objective will be defeated. Whole objective will be defeated. It will be of no use if you start converting the marks into credit. Please do not do that. Another thing, the credit of the bacha will be put or kept in a bank called as Academic Bank of Credit, ABC, as same as DigiLocker. As we have our all mark sheet documents in DigiLocker, same way there will be a bank. We have our money into our commercial bank. We have our shares into demat accounts. Same way we will be having our credits into ABC, Academic Bank of Credit. Every child will have their ABC and all the credits will be the part of that bank. You will get a dialogue like that. You must have heard somewhere, मेरे पास गाड़ी है, बंगला है, तो समटाइम बच्चा विल से मेरे पास इतने क्रेडिट है, मेरे पास इतने क्रेडिट हैं. That type of concept will come. I'm not saying in 1 or 2 years, but after some, how many credits you have, how many credits you have, that will be a talk of a town once this system will be into operation fully. Another total notional trading learning hours for any year will be 1200. 1200, this is, I'm talking about class 6 onwards. I think 3, 4, 5, it is 1000. And for elementary education, it is 800. I'm repeating, for elementary education, it is 800 hours. For 3, 4, 5, it is 1000. And 6 onwards, any class, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, graduation, post-graduation, any year, any class, it is 1200 hours. Every child have to study 1200 hours. Now, for every year, child will get 40 credit. Child is in class 6, child is in class 7, child is in class 10, child is in graduation, child is in post-graduation, child is in PhD. Wherever child is, child will get 40 credit in a year. That means 20 credit per semester. I'm repeating, 40 credit in a year. That means 20 credit per semester. Okay. Another thing, I told you that 40 credits in 1200 hours. If you divide it, you will get child have to study 30 hours. 30 hours, 1200 divided by 40. So you will get 30. Child have to study 30 hours to get 1 credit. The learning of 30 hours will be converted into 1 credit. That we have to remember. If a child fails into examination, I told you that marks and credits are independent of each other, but there is a criteria that if a child fails into the examination, all the credits, whatever child has got, that will be converted to 0. That will be converted to 0. That means credit child will get only if he passed the examination. So what happens to give your JEE examination or your NEET examination? You have to pass class 12. Whatever marks you get in NEET, You cannot be admitted for MBBS if you pass fail in class 12. Same way, if you fail in class 12, you top, even you top NEET, you will not get admission in medical college. Same will happen here. Whatever the credit will be there, if you fail in your particular class, then whatever the credit you got, that will be converted to zero. Okay. Otherwise, credit and marks do not have any relation to the basic criteria that you have to pass into examination also. Another thing, I told you that every child will get 40 credit in a year, but suppose child wants more credit, then in that situation, child can take additional subject to increase the credit. If I suppose in a class there is 5 subject required, I take 6 subject. So then 7 multiple. In a multiple of 7 for every additional subject, you will get additional credit. Suppose 5 subject instead of 5, I take 6, then 47. I take 7, then 54. I take 8, then again 7 added. So in multiple of 7, your credit will increase if you take additional subject in any class. So that is another option. If child want to do hard work to increase the grade, child can do that. Even nowadays, bachas are taking additional subject even in 10th, 11th, 12th. I have seen in many schools, bachas are taking additional subject. So to how to reward them for that purpose had been made. Assessment is mandatory for awarding credit. This assessment is not that your pen and paper test. This assessment can be any way. Suppose it is a dance, then there can be observation of that. If it is sports, then there can be some match between two classes and all. Assessment is very important to give credit. Without assessment, you cannot give credit to the child. For any learning, you have to assess what is the learning, and you should be having documentation of that of the assessment of the child, that how you have given that grade. Please, it is just like a CC concept where you have to maintain a document, because it can be checked at any point of time by any organization. So that we have to remember. Minimum attendance, they are talking about 75%. If that again, it has been given the authority to the governing body, they can fix higher than this. They can fix 80, 85, 90, but National Credit Framework talk that minimum attendance should be 75. So that means it can be higher than that, but cannot be lower than it. No authority can fix 70% or 60% like that. Authority can fix more than that. So that is another important thing this we have to remember. Any one of you have any doubt related to this slide, because this is very important slide. So any one of you have any question, you can raise your hand. I can take your question, then proceed to the next slide. Should I proceed then?
Excuse me, sir. I have a question.
Yes, please, please.
The point number 1 says,
Yes, ma'am.
well, good evening, sir.
Good
Actually,
evening, ma'am.
taking a very nice session.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
yeah. So the point 1 says credits will be independent of the marks,
Yes,
right?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And the other side says that if the student flunks or fails in a particular subject, the credits will be made zero, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Aren't they little interrelated?
No, yes,
Though
ma'am.
I
Though
think that it's
I
very
explained you
useful,
that
but
I explained you that कि बच्चा's credit and बच्चा's marks are not rated. I gave you the example. Suppose बच्चा is giving NEET examination. Now admission in medical college and class 12th board marks is not rated at all. I'm giving you class 12th board marks, and admission in medical college is not rated at all. Bacha get 40% marks, even then bacha can go to AIMS. Bacha get 90% marks, even then bacha cannot go to AIMS. It depends fully on NEET examination. But if bacha fails in CBSE class 12, even after getting 99% marks in NEET, bacha will not get admission in AIMS. You got my point?
right, right. What I was trying to ask here was initially it was told that a student who is into dance or any other vocational subject, right, he or she will be offered a particular choice for particular college or course on the basis of number of credits. So
Yes,
might
ma'am.
as well there may be a situation where the child might not be having that subject even. The matter of passing or fail might not even apply to the criteria.
Yeah, ma'am.
Maybe.
This I'm talking about CBSE curriculum. If some
Okay.
bacha is there in vocational college, then there will be no paper of dance or dance, so there is no failing criteria. This I'm talking
Right.
about CBSE. I am assuming you all are CBSE teachers teaching
Okay.
in CBSE school.
Right. Thank
This
you.
is my assumption.
Right, sir.
I hope it is clear. If
Yes,
if
sir.
if,
Definitely.
if a bacha is doing cricket, there will be not be a paper. Then in that situation, there will be failing criteria will not apply there. Okay.
Right. Right.
Okay. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Okay. Asprit Oberoi.
Uh, Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. Good evening. My pleasure,
So,
please.
as you say, we have to give a credit
Yes.
as per the performance, and we require a proper documentation.
Yes, sir.
As a student is performing dance or any speech for any topic, and we give credit. So, what will the documentation we have that we can attach?
Sir, that is SOPs that will be developed, that will be given to you by the agencies, different bodies. That will be that has not been. I can tell you that has not been streamlined yet. CBSE is working, UGC is working, AICT is working for evaluating different things. What documentation required on the basis of what. If you go through NCQF, there is a document called as NCQF of vocational education. That talk about if child has achieved this level, then we give level one, grade one, then grade two, then grade three, then grade four. NCQF there are 10 levels. So same way, NCQF is only about technical education. But what about dance? What about drama? What about sports? So there is no such document in India yet. No doubt, I am telling you, it will take some years, not some month. It will take some years, but it will be formalized in years to come. Don't worry about that.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. Another thing, if you go through national curriculum framework, there is three national curriculum. One is for elementary education, one is for school education, and one is for higher education. But if you go through national credit framework, for all, starting from Bal Vatika till PhD, there is only one framework, which is this, which we are discussing here. So only one document, 108 pages. This document is very important. Okay. Now I'm moving to class, mainly class 6 onwards, subject distribution first, then I will talk about the credits allotment and all. If you see the subject, this is the side of National Curriculum Framework. I am taking this slide from there. All the subjects have been divided into 4 groups. Group 1, Group 2, Group 3, Group 4. Group 1 is all about language. Group 2 is art education. Group 3 is physical, sorry, Group 2, second part is physical education and vocational education. This is 3 parts of Group 2. And if you go through Group 3, then there are 2 parts. This is called as curricular areas, which is social science. And that commerce wala part, they have written it as interdisciplinary area. Now business study, accountancy and all is the part of that. And after that, Group 4, which is mathematics and science. So in this way, they have divided all the subjects into 4 parts and 8 curricular areas. I'm repeating, 4 groups and 8 curricular area. Group 1 has 1 curricular area. Group 2 have 3 curricular area. Group 3 have 2 and Group 4 have 2. Total comes to 8 curricular areas. Okay. Now, go to class 10th first. As per NCF 2023, bacha is supposed to study 10 subjects. How these 10 subjects are? From group 1, bacha have to take 3 languages. I'm repeating, bacha have to study 3 languages. Then from all other curricular area, one from art, one from physical, one from vocational, one from social science, one from IDA, one from mathematics, one from science. The totals come to 10. I'm repeating. See this. 3 from here, 3, then 4, then 5, then 6, then 7, then 8, then 9, then 10. So that comes to 10. Bacha will be studying 10 subjects in class 9th and 10th. Now, if you see language, from language, 3 languages, then mathematics, science, social science, art, environmental education, physical education, and vocational education. This environmental education is in class 10th, and in class 9th, the subject is called as individual in society. I am repeating, it is given in, if I am correct, page number 379 of NCF. They are talking about individual in society. The subject name is individual in society in class 9th, and environmental education in class 10th. Now, if you go through this 10, it is clearly written in the blue part, external examiner, external examination, external examination, external examination. That means 7 papers will be having board type of examination. Bacha will go to different school, there will be examination like that. And 3 paper, that is art education, physical education, and vocational education, it is written local assessment with external examiner. That means someone from different school will come to your school, and this exam will happen in your school itself. There will be no board for all these 3. So art education, physical education, vocational education, which is the part of group 2. I'm repeating, group language, there will be external examination. Group 2, that is art, physical, and vocational, there will be no separate examination. It will be in the school. And then social science, there will be paper, IDA, there will be paper, mathematics, there will be paper, science, there will be paper. So total 7 paper bacha have to appear into the board, and 3 paper bacha have to do it in the school itself. And external will come to your school, and internal and external both together, they will mark the paper and give the marks. Okay. Now, if you go to class 11, 12, so they are talking about 2 languages. See this, at least one of these 2 should be native. So 2 language. If you are in Hindi belt, then Hindi and English can be there. If you are somewhere in Paschim Bengal, then there can be Bengali or Hindi, Bengali or English. Or if you are in Tamil Nadu, there can be Malayalam or whatever the subjects they have. So whatever the subjects, yours Punjab may have Punjabi with Hindi, Punjabi with English, means 2 languages should be there, and that out of these 2, one should be native. And these 3, if you go through class 9, 10th, there are 3 languages, and out of these 3, 2 should be native. 2 should be native. They are talking about this 2. Now, other bacha, what I have to do from remaining group. Now, there are 4 group. I told you in the beginning, there are 4 group. Group 1, language. Group 2 is your art education, physical education, vocational education, then social science and commerce, and then mathematics and that. Now, out of these 3, bacha can take any 2, 2 or 3, 3 or 4, 2 or 4, or even 2, 3, 4 all, minimum 2. And from that 2, bacha have to select 4 subjects. So if you go through the permutation combination of the subject, I am giving you one thing. There are a lot of queries, a lot of questions I am receiving nowadays. Sir, how to make a timetable for class 11 for the coming year? I'm telling you, no subject change is going to happen in 11th and 12th. If you do this permutation combination, you will see bacha will take PCB or PCM from group 4, and then physical education or economics from group 3 or 2, and that will be science bacha. Commerce bacha will take accounts, economics, business study from group 3, and then mathematics from group 4 or physical education from group 2, and they will, same way humanities bacha will take history, geography, political science from group 3, and then mathematics or art education, vocational education, whatever from group 2. So in class 11th and 12th, whatever the subject choices you people were giving earlier, that is going to be in the same manner. There is not going to be any change unless until you open all. Bacha can take accountancy with physics or chemistry, that you can, that is your hour, but it will be very difficult to run timetable. Along with timetable, it will be very difficult for the bacha for higher education. If bacha is going for NEET, bacha need PCB. If bacha is going for JEE, bacha need PCM. If bacha is going for commerce, though there is no mandatory requirement, but if bacha have studied business study, accountancy, economics, it will be very useful to do CA, BCom, BBA and all. If bacha is preparing for some UPSC and all, that humanities wala subject will help the bacha. So my suggestion Though there is no restrictions, but earlier also CBSE was not giving that type of restriction. कि no बच्चा का earlier also बच्चा science बच्चा can take accountancy. There is no such restriction as per CBSE. So since we have divided that, and we should be going with that only one addition, that is additional language in class 11th, and that too after receiving the notification from CBSE. Still CBSE in discussion process that we will start from 24-25 or 25-26. They have not clarified yet, even in the last their session which held on 31st of January. So please you keep the scope of that subject in your timetable. If some additional language comes from this year, what to do. Otherwise, whatever the permutation combination you were going with your running class, continue with that. No doubt in class 9th, it is going to be a drastic change because you have to run up with the 10 subject timetable. Now I am moving to next slide, which is this. Now, if you see the hours distribution in foundation stage is 800 hours, preparatory that is 3, 4, 5, it's 1000 hours. Middle school, they are talking about 1200, secondary school again 1200. Out of this 1200, in middle school, which is 6, 7, 8, 1000 should be for education purpose and 200 for other. They are talking about there maybe school matches, debates, maybe some picnic and all, whatever it can be. Same way in secondary education, they are talking about 1080 total, 1080 for education and 120 for others. Others you can use for that your school trips and all. If you have in your school, you can use that. That can be also counted as into the national hours. Now, if you see when they are talking about providing credit, so you have to give credit on the basis of theory, you have to give credit on the basis of practical, you have to give credit on the basis of group work, you have to give credit on the basis of field work, you have to give credit on the basis of work-ex, whatever bacha is doing. You have to give credit on the basis of sports, you have to give credit on the basis of art, different competitions. Now what happens if bacha is going to different school, coming with a winner trophy, or so generally we bacha give assembly mein certificate we generally distributed, and no, you have to give credit on the basis of that. No, bacha have participated into the sports, bacha have participated into the art, and bacha have got this, then how much credit should be there, and that should be written in the ACB of the child. You have to put it there and you have to add it. Vocational education related to life, machine, material, services, whatever the vocational education bacha is doing, some drawing, some dance, some drama. This seminar which held on 31st of January, even they talk about if bacha is doing some foreign language, now which is no scope there in your class 6, 7, 8, because you have to run up the timetable of 3 language, 2 of which should be the native. Suppose you are running Hindi, Sanskrit, I'm assuming you are from Hindi belt, so Hindi, Sanskrit and English. Now where to teach French, German? If you want to do that, you can do into vocational education. You can do into vocational education. Suppose you are somewhere in South India, you are doing a language of that part, then one Hindi, maybe one Sanskrit, then one English, then where to teach that, maybe you want to teach Japanese or Chinese, whatever you want to do. So that can be the part of your vocational education. And grade can be given for that also. Internship, if bacha is doing some corporate internship, some NGO internship during the vacations and all, you have to award grade for that also. Now, for the next class, whenever I was teacher, so generally we used to make our micro plan, macro plan. What this is an example of one accountancy topic, but you can do it for any subject, any topic. What will be the pedagogy of teaching that topic? How many national hours you are going to devote that topic, that chapter? What will be the marks distribution? And what will be the credit of that? Always remember, you have to now, earlier you generally how you are going to teach, what case study you will be taking, what will be the pedagogy, how many periods required, what will be the marks of that for UT terms and all. But now you have to add one column everywhere where you have to write how many credits are there for that particular chapter, topic, whatever it is. So please remember adding credit along with marks everywhere in every document now onwards, so that your teacher will be having that habit. Now see this. This is very important thing. I told you that Bacha will be getting credit, 40 credit in each class. I told you that. Bacha will be getting 40 credit. That means Bacha will be getting 40 notes in each class. But the note will be of different denomination in different class. Note will be 40. Every bacha, class 2 bacha will be also getting 40 notes. Class 3 bacha will be getting also 40 notes. 6 bacha will be getting also 40 notes. 8 wala bacha also getting 40 notes. 11th wala, 12th wala, graduation wala, everybody will be getting 40 notes maximum. But 40 notes of class 12 and 40 notes of class 6 will be of different denomination. Same way, the 40 credit a bacha will get in class 9th, and the 40 credit which bacha will get in class 12 will have different denomination. Denomination of the credit will be different. How it is divided? I am giving you example 6 onwards. The NCRF have all the classes, even for the Bal Batika. In class 6, it will be of 1.33. In class 7, it will be of 1.67. In class 8, the denomination will be 2. In class 9th, 2.5. In class 10th, 3. In class 11, 3.5. And in class 12th, 4. So suppose if your bacha is getting 40 credit, 40 notes of class 12, so its value will be 160. Same bacha getting 40 credits of class 10th, then the value will be 120 only, even after getting 40 credits, because it is just like notes as we are getting. हाँ जी, वीर सिंह जी, आप कुछ कहना चाह रहे हैं, प्लीज.
सर ये 7th 2 बार रिपीट हो गया स्लाइड में.
तो सर गलती से सर वो 8th है, 6
हाँ.
7th के बाद 8th है वो
हाँ,
गलती से. ठीक है, तो दैट इज क्लास 8th. तो 8th वाला विल बी ऑफ 2 क्रेडिट. ठीक है, एनीवन हैविंग एनी डाउट इन दिस? किसी के मन में कोई भी डाउट है तो यहाँ पे? Anyone want? Credit bacha will be getting same, but the value of that credit for different class will be different. I hope it is clear. Now I am moving to next slide. Now see this. Your mark sheet. Generally, when you receive mark sheet from CBSE or you make a mark sheet in your school, you make how much marks bacha got in theory, how much marks bacha got in practical, then what is the total marks, then what is the grade. Along with this, what will be the grade? One column. I told you, you have to add one column everywhere. You have to add one column everywhere. So your mark sheet, now this grade here will not be dependent upon marks. I'm repeating here. It is not like that ki bacha got 90, so grade will be 36, 90% of 40, that is 36. Please do not do that. Whatever the grade will be here, that will be independent of marks, as per the observation, as per your assessment in the classroom. Whatever you are doing throughout the year, so this will be the way of putting your grade in the mark sheet. You may be working for your next year report cards and all, so you have to remember this thing. There should be a column for the grade everywhere. Now I am moving to next slide. I hope it is clear. Again, this 23, 24, they are not going to apply. I'm going again 24, 25. Now, you know, in class 9, suppose they have this 10 subjects. Now, this 10 subjects, they have divided whatever the marks, whatever the grades. Again, this grade, whatever I have written, still discussion is going on. In the latest webinar which held on 31st, though they also sold 444 here, but they were talking about they are still considering to reduce it at 333. For languages, they are going to reduce the number of hours from 120 to 90. They talk, if you go through this, that workshop, it is still available on YouTube. So they are talking this will be reduced to 90 because it will be difficult for bacha who have not studied Sanskrit in 6th, 7th, 8th, or maybe any regional language in 9th, 10th to study in 11th. So they are going to reduce that national hours for that language, and they are going to reduce the credit also. So whatever the change in the syllabus, as per that, there can be a change. But in this way, total 1200 hours will be divided in different subjects, and total 40 credits will be divided into different subjects. Why I'm showing this? I'm again repeating you all. This is not exact because even CBSE have not clarified. They have not come up with the final document in their latest webinar. They've told that they are still into discussion how many credits for which subject. But if you see the nutshell of this, they are giving more credit for subjects like mathematics, science, social science, and vocational education. Vocational education, they are giving more credit as compared to language, and the least credit is there for art education, physical education, and all. They are giving least credit. That you have to keep in mind, that this 5 can be 6 and this 4 can be 3, depending upon final outcome from the CBSE, which still we are waiting. Okay. If you go through class 11th, again, if you see languages, they have given less grade. As I told you, 2 language plus 4 subjects they are talking about. So total 1200 hours they have divided. That language will have less number of hours, less number of credits. If you compare it, it is just in the multiple of 30. I told you for 30 hours 1 credit. So 30 into 6 you will find 180. So as per their latest PPT, if you find on the YouTube, this is the same. But it can change. It can come to 150. It can come to 6. It can some of the subject may come to go from 7 to go to 8. Maybe physics, maybe accountancy, like that. Still, this process is into discussion till you receive the final document. Why I'm showing you this? This will be the way where how your subjects will be divided. You may be in the process of making timetable and all. So please remember to give less period to the language, more period to the core subjects and all, so that you can make your that work. That is the reason I'm talking here. I hope what all is required for National Credit Framework, what things were there in your mind. I tried my best to cover. Now I am ready to take your questions. You can open your camera. It will be good for me if you can introduce yourself, and it will be good if you can give your feedback. Will this was this 1 hour or 40 minutes, whatever it is, was useful for you or not? And if something required, whatever I can give, whatever is there in public domain, on the basis of that I can answer. If something is still into discussion, then we have to wait for that. Any one of you? I'm ready for criticism. I'm ready for feedback, positive, negative, whatever it is, and I'm ready for every question. Any one of you?
Thank you,
Yeah.
sir. It was very easy and very clear. The only thing is, I think in 11 and 12 here, we've not taken extra native language. I think we'll have to plan about introducing the language in 11 and 12.
Yeah, I told you that there are 2 languages. One of them should be the native.
Native, that we've
Yeah.
not introduced. I think so next year we have to plan about taking a teacher and introducing a native language.
That is still, but please wait for the letter of the CBSE, because even in their latest webinar, they were, if you go through the discussion, there were 4 or 5 people sitting, and they are going to do it in this year or next year, because a lot of observations, a lot of objections have gone to CBSE and different bodies. If a bacha have not studied Hindi or something in class 9, 10, 10, how a bacha can do in 11th? There is a lot of discussion. So that is a national problem and will be solved at national level. You need not to worry about that.
Thank you so much.
That cannot be solved at individual level. So whatever comes from there, we will adopt it.
Thank you so much, sir. You made it very clear. I had so many doubts now about the credit and all that is very clear. So thank you so much for
Thank you,
taking the
ma'am.
time.
Thank you.
And
I tried my best to give it in the
yes, you've done it very clearly.
Yes, Ratnesh Jhaji, please.
Yeah, very good evening, sir.
Good evening, please.
Yeah, session was quite impressive and fruitful, sir. Most of the doubts have been cleared. One thing I want to know, sir,
Yes.
as we have seen the academic performance card, where the you have mentioned the arts, for example, language 120 hours,
Yes.
credit 4. तो ये सर क्रेडिट और ये आर्ट्स हम कैसे एलोकेट करेंगे सर?
सर ये तो कहते हैं ना, ये बड़ा डिस्कशन का पॉइंट है, कैसे करेंगे। आपको याद होगा जब सीसी में कहा गया था मार्क्स देना है, इतने करना है, कैसे करेंगे, तो वो सब सर होगा धीरे धीरे। कहते हैं ना, ये एक सिस्टम बन रहा है सर, ये सिस्टम बनने में समय लगेगा। बस ये जान लीजिए कि सिस्टम बने। अब किसने कैसा क्रिकेट खेला, किस किस क्रिकेट पे उसको हमें 1 क्रेडिट देना है, 2 क्रेडिट देना है, बड़ा मुश्किल है सर, इतना आसान नहीं है। इसको सिस्टम बनाने के लिए बहुत बड़े एक्सपर्ट्स को लगेंगे, लोग जो एजुकेशन
राइट।
फील्ड के लोग हैं, तो आ जाएगा सर धीरे धीरे। हमें तो सर चीजों को अडॉप्ट करना है। वी शुड बी नोइंग व्हाट इज हैपनिंग, व्हाई दिस वर्कशॉप इज देयर, वी शुड बी नोइंग व्हाट इज हैपनिंग, वी शुड बी रेडी फॉर दैट, वॉट एवर कम्स फ्रॉम देयर वी विल अडॉप्ट इट। सब
ऑफ कोर्स
ये
सर,
जो
राइट
प्रॉब्लम
राइट।
आपके मन में समझ में आ रहा है, मेरे मन में भी आ रहा है कि इफ वी हैव टू गिव क्रेडिट इन अकाउंटेंसी, वी आर नॉट कंसिडरिंग एग्जामिनेशन, बच्चा इज सिटिंग इन द क्लास doing how many questions, writing तो work of the teacher, how many बच्चा have done how many questions today, how many बच्चा have not done the question, how many बच्चा have given the worksheet given to them have completed that worksheet। तो ये तो आसान है, लेकिन एक बच्चा डांस कर रहा है, ड्रामा कर रहा है, एक बच्चा प्लम्बिंग कर रहा है, तो इट इज सिस्टम विल कम सर, वेट फॉर दैट, सिस्टम विल कम।
तो जैसे 12 आवर्स हैं पूरे ईयर में,
हाँ जी
तो
सर।
हमने जैसे इंग्लिश को 120 आवर्स दिया है, तो ये
यस
मतलब सब्जेक्ट टू सब्जेक्ट डिवाइड हो रहा है, कैसे हो रहा है?
यस सर, इंग्लिश को 120 दिया है, फिजिक्स को 150 दिया है, बिकॉज क्रेडिट के ऊपर है, जिसको ज्यादा क्रेडिट है उसको ज्यादा आवर्स है। ठीक है,
हम्म
अगर आप देखेंगे 30 के मल्टीपल्स में होंगे, तो 30 मैंने आपको कहा हर 30 आवर्स का 1 क्रेडिट है, तो अगर क्रेडिट एक बढ़ेगा तो उसको 30 आवर्स बढ़ाने पड़ेंगे आपको,
हम्म।
तभी तो मेजर हो पाएंगे। तो 30 आवर्स में आपको देखना है बच्चे को ने क्या क्या किया। अगर उसने आधा काम किया है, 15 आवर्स का काम किया है, तो आप उसको हाफ क्रेडिट दे देंगे। अगर उसने
हम्म।
मान लो 20 आवर्स का काम किया है, तो मे बी 0.66 दे देंगे, लाइक दैट।
या
ठीक है,
फाइन
आ
फाइन
जाएगा सर
फाइन।
सिस्टम। बस हमें तो जानना
या
है,
या या वी विल गेट
अभी
टू नो।
तक जो आया है हमें वो जानना है।
या डेफिनेटली सर, वी गॉट टू नो सर।
हाँ,
रियली वंडरफुल सेशन सर।
थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू। नम्रता सिंह मैम प्लीज।
Yes, sir. Good evening.
गुड
Session
इवनिंग।
was really informative. बहुत डिटेल में आपने समझाया सर।
थैंक यू
बट
मैम।
जो ये थोड़ा सा मुझे कंफ्यूजन अभी जो सर पूछ रहे थे कि नंबर ऑफ आवर्स इनटू क्रेडिट, राइट? तो यू सेड कि क्रेडिट दैट आवर्स विल नॉट चेंज एंड ऑफ कोर्स द क्रेडिट विल आल्सो नॉट चेंज
हाँ,
इरिस्पेक्टिव ऑफ द मार्क्स, है ना?
इररिस्पेक्टिव, यस
राइट।
मैम।
सो दैट इज ये जो क्रेडिट है वो तो वही रहने वाला है या क्रेडिट में भी हम चेंजेस करेंगे?
नहीं, अगर मान लीजिए एक बच्चे को, अभी तो मैंने आपको बताया कि इन्होंने कहा कि 6 क्रेडिट देना है सपोज इंग्लिश को, और 6 का
हाँ
मतलब
जी,
180 आवर्स हो गए मान लीजिए।
राइट
ये आपको 4 क्रेडिट देना है तो 120। अब कल को कहते
राइट।
हैं कि हम इंग्लिश को हम कम क्रेडिट देंगे, 3 देंगे,
हम्म,
तो वहां पे 90 आवर्स हो जाएंगे। तो इसका
राइट,
मतलब वो 1 क्रेडिट और वो 30 आवर्स किसी और सब्जेक्ट में जाके ऐड होगा। तो वो
ट्रू।
अभी फाइनल डॉक्यूमेंट अभी आया नहीं है। ये डॉक्यूमेंट वो है जो सीबीएसई ने अपने लेटेस्ट वेबिनार में शो किया था कि इस तरह से कुछ डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन होगा।
नहीं, मेरा कंसर्न ये था कि जैसे यूनिवर्सिटीज में होता है कि यूनिवर्सिटीज में इट इज एज पर द टोटल नंबर ऑफ आवर्स द चाइल्ड हैज स्टडीड दैट पर्टिकुलर सब्जेक्ट।
यस।
सो जैसे 120 आवर्स पढ़ लिया है तो 4 क्रेडिट उस बच्चे को असाइन हो जाएगा, मतलब
एकदम,
उसके रिपोर्ट कार्ड में वो 4 क्रेडिट्स ऐड हो गया,
एकदम एकदम वैसा ही यहाँ पे
है
भी
ना?
होगा।
बिल्कुल
Yes,
वही है ना, वही सिस्टम
एकदम
है,
एकदम
राइट?
एकदम वही
हाँ
जो
जी,
आप यूनिवर्सिटी में,
ठीक
जो
ठीक,
आपका आईआईटी में हो रहा है इस समय,
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल।
सेम वही होगा कि अगर बच्चे ने 4 घंटे पढ़ लिए, अब वो बच्चा एग्जाम में मान लीजिए उसके 60 मार्क्स आए, उससे कोई मतलब नहीं है, वो
कोई
4
मतलब नहीं,
पढ़
सही
लिए तो
बात है।
उसको टोटल ग्रेड मिल जाएगी।
हाँ, उसका स्टडी हो चुका है उतने
यस
आवर्स
यस
का, दैट
यस
इज
यस।
व्हाट इट
हाँ
शोज,
हाँ,
तो
इट
दैट
इज
मींस
रिलेटेड विद
क्रेडिट।
द
हाँ
लर्निंग,
जी,
इट इज नॉट रिलेटेड विद द एग्जामिनेशन, इट इज रिलेटेड विद
एग्जामिनेशन,
द लर्निंग ओनली।
एग्जैक्टली एग्जैक्टली।
या
जी जी, आई थिंक इवन जो रत्नेश सर पूछ रहे थे उनको भी जवाब मिल गया होगा कि ये
हाँ
क्रेडिट का, हाँ, मतलब इरिस्पेक्टिव ऑफ वट एवर दैट आवर्स एंड क्रेडिट विल कम, दिस नंबर विल नॉट चेंज,
हाँ,
इन द सेंस जो भी
एकदम एकदम
अलॉट होगा वही होगा,
एकदम
है ना?
या
एकदम।
मैम, मच क्लियर नाउ, मच क्लियर नाउ। थैंक यू
हाँ
थैंक
जी, ओके,
यू।
या थैंक यू सो मच, थैंक यू सर।
कविता मैम प्लीज।
Yeah, hello sir. Actually, the session was very interactive. My question is that जैसे यहाँ पे आपने बताया तो यहाँ पे credit and जो marks allotted है both have a different मतलब दोनों का जो assessment है दोनों different रहेगा, right?
यस मैम, मार्क्स तो आपको एग्जाम से होंगे, जो आप बच्चे का हाफ ईयरली यूटी या जो कुछ देंगे उसके बेसिस पे मार्क्स होंगे।
And यहाँ पे जो final report card बनेगा 10th and 12th का उसमें आपका credit भी ऐड होगा and marks भी ऐड
एकदम
होगा, दोनों का
एकदम
combination मिलके बनेगा
एकदम
आपका,
क्रेडिट आप स्कूल से भेजेंगे, जैसे हम लोग इंटरनल मार्क्स वगैरह भेजते हैं, वैसे आप
right?
क्रेडिट स्कूल से भेजेंगे, मार्क्स बच्चे को वहां पे बोर्ड में आ जाएगा और दोनों मार्कशीट में आ
And
जाएगा।
इसके assessment का you are saying that the SOP is still to be
हाँ,
decided that what
स्टिल
will be the criteria of the
दैट
assessment.
दैट विल कम फ्रॉम सीबीएसई सर्टेनली।
And ये अभी श्योरिटी नहीं है that it is going to be planned from this year, right sir?
यस मैम, मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ जो लेटेस्ट वेबिनार था उसमें 6 के लिए दे आर सेइंग कि हाँ इस साल हम करने जा रहे हैं, दैट 10 टाइम्स उन्होंने बोला था कि 6 में दे आर गोइंग
Okay.
टू डू दैट, सो दैट कि वहां से एक सिस्टम तो बने आगे ऊपर। बट फॉर 9th फॉर 11th व्हाट इज गोइंग टू हैपन दिस ईयर नेक्स्ट ईयर, still it need discussion, a lot of discussion, you know कि there are a lot of government involved, state government involved, UT government involved, central government involved, तो एक जगह से नहीं होता मैम ये सब चीजें. देयर आर यू पीपल आर फ्रॉम द सीबीएसई, यू आर मच अवेयर, देयर आर मेनी स्टेट बोर्ड्स एंड ऑल, इवन टीचर्स डू नॉट नो कि हाँ ऐसा कोई फ्रेमवर्क आ भी गया है. So what to do with
Yeah,
those
right,
bacha
right.
and all? So it cannot be decided at one level. So that is the reason a lot of discussion is going on.
And one more thing, like if a child is having this extracurricular course, like maybe in dancing, maybe in sports,
Yes,
so
ma'am.
it will going to benefit because he's
Yeah.
going to get the
Ma'am,
extra potential.
जैसे आपने कहा dancing, तो that will be part of art education.
Yeah, like अगर कोई बच्चा कथक करता है, like कथक आप जैसे
हाँ, तो वो आर्ट
सेकंड या थर्ड
एजुकेशन
से
में आ
करते
जाएगा
हैं,
बच्चे का.
आप राज
ये
यूनिवर्सिटी
आर्ट
से
आर्ट
अटैच हो
एजुकेशन
जाते
में
हैं.
डिफरेंट आर्ट होंगे ना. आर्ट एजुकेशन में जाएंगे तो बच्चे को
Yes,
चूज
yes,
करना
yes, yes.
कि कौन सा वाला आर्ट कर रहा है बच्चा. उसी तरह फिजिकल एजुकेशन
Okay.
में जाएगा बच्चा तो फिजिकल एजुकेशन में कोई फुटबॉल
तो
करेगा,
वहाँ पे आपका
टीम
गेम
वर्क.
खुल जाएगा.
तो दैट विल बी द पार्ट ऑफ दैट. पहले क्या होता था, हमारे बच्चे स्पोर्ट्स पीरियड में जाते थे. आप आई हैव
हम्म,
सीन माय स्कूल, देयर वर सम बच्चा हु वर प्लेइंग, देयर वर सम बच्चा हु वर सिटिंग
हम्म,
इन द, और अपनी बातें करते थे. एंड दैट देयर इज नो
right.
डिफरेंस इनटू दैट. बट नाउ दैट
Yeah.
विल कम इनटू द क्रेडिट स्कोर. तो एवरीबडी विल बी प्लेइंग, everybody will be dancing,
Okay.
everybody will be participating because there will be credit for that.
Yeah. So now the participation will be more from the student
Yes,
side
yes,
as they're going
yes,
to get
yes,
the credit. Yeah.
yes.
Okay. Fine, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Sheetal Khanna, ma'am.
Right, sir. Yeah. I would like to definitely say here that this online workshop is really helpful. At least we are getting exposed. We know what is it, and so there are so many queries on it in our minds. So inculcating that in our minds, thanks for that, first of all. Yeah. So my query is little like we've gone through CC pattern,
Yes.
right? Once you compare this with CC, I know it's too early because implementation stage abhi aayi nahi. So at outset, how do you compare and what concerns would you have?
Ma'am, if you see CC, na, CC was one thing, same ki whatever assessment of the teacher that was converted into the marks. यहाँ पे उस चीज को डिफरेंट रखा गया है. If you see,
Right,
हाँ, if you see
correct,
this what happened in the CC, but teacher ने कैसा किया, खराब किया, ये किया, that was the marks of the bite. But here marks is something else and credit is something else. And now
okay,
the
right,
industry, if you go to the industry now, they are talking about skill, skill, skill. They do not bother.
right.
I have circulated only yesterday. If you people are not attached with me on WhatsApp group and all, so please let me know. I will add you. Only yesterday news was there. 72 bacha of I am Lucknow.
Yes,
Is not
they
taking.
are not getting
Why? Why? Because they
accepted,
are
right?
very good into marks. They are very good into marks. They must have cleared their 10th, 12th, CAT and all with that coaching system. Voila. They have done that. They are excellent into that. But the required skill by industry, that has not been inculcated into them. For
Right,
that,
so skill is missing.
हाँ, तो industry is not looking for your marks, how much marks you are getting in class 10th or 12th. That is basic requirement is there. You go it, complete it, it's okay. But they are looking for skill. And skill can be developed by these things. So that is the reason I think it is going to be different. Now, for the interview, bacha will get a call. All those who have more than 120 credits can apply for this job. So bacha will be concerned about developing that grade, getting that grades.
This
Only
means the assessment system has to be very apt.
yes, yes, and
Otherwise,
teachers
the
have to be
credit
very hard. Teachers have to be
rendering
very
credits
active.
would be useless.
या अदरवाइज तो इफ यू स्टार्ट गिविंग क्रेडिट, हाँ जी, जैसे प्रैक्टिकल में आप लोग मार्क्स दे देते हैं बच्चों को, अगर इफ यू स्टार्ट डूइंग दैट तो ये तो सब वेस्ट हो जाएगा. फिर तो सिस्टम को लोग खराब करेंगे. एक्चुअल में यू हैव ऑल द टीचर्स हैव टू कम टुगेदर. नो, वी विल गेट क्रेडिट ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ बच्चा's यूनिक क्वालिटीज. If बच्चा इज डूइंग योगा in that manner which is required, participating every day, then only we will give the credit. It is not like that कि हाँ बच्चा लास्ट में
Right,
किया और आपने क्रेडिट दे दिया, चलो जी बच्चा है घर का. Generally we do that in the school system.
right. वही CC pattern
हाँ.
in a way इसीलिए इतना effective नहीं रहा because we were all not doing it the way it should have been done.
Yes, yes. तो प्लीज नाउ व्हाट विल हैपन कि हाँ अब आपके स्कूल का रिजल्ट अफेक्ट नहीं हो रहा उसकी वजह से, तो आप क्रेडिट अपने मन से दीजिए जो उसका बच्चे का और जो बच्चा जान रहा है आपका स्कूल का रिजल्ट तो आपका आ रहा है ना, एवरीबडी इज गेटिंग 99%, यू शुड बी हैप्पी। बच्चा विल नॉट गेट जॉब। तो आप आज भी वही होता है, हर कोई 99 आ रहा है, वी आर हैप्पी विद दैट। तो नाउ प्लीज गिव क्रेडिट ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ एक्चुअल असेसमेंट, एक्चुअल लर्निंग ऑफ द चाइल्ड।
Thank you so much, sir.
थैंक यू मैम, थैंक यू। सुब्रलता जी।
गुड इवनिंग एवरीवन।
गुड इवनिंग मैम।
सर मेरा क्वेश्चन ये था कि जैसे हमारा जो अप्लाई होगा एनसीएफ
यस
2024 में, तो गवर्नमेंट और प्राइवेट सभी स्कूलों में अप्लाई होगा, सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट के हो या स्टेट गवर्नमेंट के,
अगर अप्लाई होगा तो हर जगह होगा मैम।
हर जगह होगा।
यस
लेकिन रिजल्ट को दिखाने के लिए और क्रेडिट का ये प्राइवेट स्कूल वाले अगर हमारा इंटरनल असेसमेंट के 20 मार्क्स भी देने होते हैं प्राइवेट स्कूल वालों को, तो वो मैक्सिमम मार्क्स बच्चे को देते हैं।
ठीक
लेकिन
है।
उसके अपोजिट में अगर हम अपने स्टेट गवर्नमेंट का देखते हैं और सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट के जो भी स्कूल हमारे एनवीएस के हैं, केवीएस के हैं, वहां एक फेयर मार्क्स मिलते हैं। बच्चा अगर 40 को ले रहा है या 15 मार्क्स ले रहा है, बच्चे को उतना ही देते हैं।
हाँ,
लेकिन ये चीज प्राइवेट में नहीं होता है, तो क्या ये फेयर होगा ये क्रेडिट सिस्टम?
ठीक है, मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ, तो कोई फर्क नहीं होगा। अल्टीमेटली क्या होगा, अल्टीमेटली बच्चे को आपने मान लो क्रेडिट दे भी दिए, उसको
हाँ
कॉल
जी।
आ भी गई, इंटरव्यू में उसको पहले राउंड में निकल जाएगा। अभी बता तो रहा हूँ, बच्चा पहुंच गया IIM तक, लेकिन फिर भी उसको जॉब नहीं मिल रही, फिर वही सिचुएशन आ जाएगी। तो अल्टीमेटली यू डू जस्टिस विद योर बच्चा। दूसरे क्या कर रहे हैं मुझे पता है, प्राइवेट स्कूल में मैम उनको दिखाना होता है, रिजल्ट दिखाना होता है, अदरवाइज एडमिशन नहीं होगा, ये नहीं होगा, वो नहीं होगा, तो करते हैं। ठीक है, आई हैव बीन अ पार्ट ऑफ प्राइवेट स्कूल 20 ईयर्स, हमने भी वही किए है जो आप कह रहे हैं, लेकिन क्या करें, दैट इज द पार्ट, क्योंकि हमारी नौकरी जो है, अगले साल का प्रमोशन जो है, सब कुछ उसी पे डिपेंड होता है। तो प्लीज माई हम्बल रिक्वेस्ट, वी शुड बी डूइंग वॉट एवर वी कैन डू बेस्ट। मैं तो जीवन में ऐसे ही जीता हूँ कि मैं क्या बेस्ट कर सकता हूँ उसको करने की कोशिश कर। अल्टीमेटली क्या होगा, सपोज यू आर गिविंग 40 ग्रेड टू एवरीवन, बच्चा इज नॉट कमिंग टू द स्कूल, बच्चा इज नॉट डूइंग एनीथिंग, आफ्टर गेटिंग 500 क्रेडिट बच्चा वहां जाए। एक्चुअल में आप समझिए इस बात को, आई हैव सीन अ सिचुएशन, आई वाज सिटिंग इन अ बोर्ड ऑफ इंटरव्यू, अ गर्ल केम, written there, head girl of the school, it was written in the biodata. The standard of the question of the interviewer automatically increases, automatically, कि अगर आप head girl हैं तो you should be having this quality in you. So please try to understand, if you are giving marks and bacha or grade and bacha do not have that quality, you are ultimately not helping the child, because if a child is having that much grade, those who are interviewing, their standard of the question will increase and बच्चा पहला एक क्वेश्चन में फेल हो जाएगा, कोई फायदा होगा नहीं उसको लाइफ में।
ओके सर।
तो आई होप that will be taken care of at one stage, don't worry about that. Sibba Kalik Ahmed, extremely sorry if I cannot pronounce it correctly.
Sir, it's okay, sir. Good evening, sir.
Extreme,
So my query is already answered. I was also like worried about that biases relating to giving the allotting the marks.
okay.
But still, I find like this a very positive move and a progressive towards progressive like holistic development, right?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
that's what like all thanks for this wonderful session to make
Thank
us
you.
aware.
Thank you.
And just hope ki the like implementation of it would be in the proper manner as we all plan, because that's what going to literally help our kids.
That is more important, ma'am. That is more important. Thank you
Yes,
very
sir.
much, everyone.
Okay, thank you.
Is my humble
Thank you.
request. I will be sharing one Google form. Please fill it so that your certificate can be generated. Thank you very much, everyone. Please write your feedback on the group on wherever you got the message of today's session. If you can write the feedback of the session today, it will be helpful for me. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you. Thank you.